It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Divas That Care. My name is Candace Gish. Well, I'm so excited. I'm going to be having back one of our amazing guests, Stacey Berger, and she is just the most fascinating woman out there. She's doing so many great things, from vision boards to inspirating so many women in business that I'm always excited when I have her back on the program. If this is your very first time checking out the Divas That Care, a big welcome to all of you. Our program is going into its 11th year, and it's because of all of our amazing listeners that we are continuing to do our programs. We have a variety of amazing hosts on our network, and we are listened to in over 30 countries around the world. So a big shout out. Thank you so much, and let's get started. Well, Stacey, welcome to the program. I'm so happy to have you back.
Hey, Candace, it's so wonderful to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, girl, you have so much going on right now. We haven't had you on the program for a while now, but there's been so much that's happened. So I thought, oh, my goodness, we have to have you back on. You have to share with us what's been happening. But before we kind of dive into that, would you mind, introducing yourself to maybe some of our new listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a passionate entrepreneur, transformational coach, and mom of 3. So professionally, what I really do is I help people. I've got about 20 years experience of mentoring individuals in both business and mindset. So I really help people to discover their passion, get really clear on their vision, where they want to go. And then I work with a transformational system to help move that from an idea into their reality. And I've been doing that now for almost 6.5 years inside my own business, and I absolutely love it.
I love what you're doing. I always get inspired. Last time I think you were on the program, we talked about vision boards and the things that you're doing, and I've been a person that has been using vision boards forever. I don't know when I was introduced to that idea and that concept, and I just loved it. I'll just do this. This is fun. And then when I learned about other people doing it and really helping them out, I thought, this is fantastic, because I could see how it was helping myself, because I would just kind of glance at it every day and it would bring a smile to my face. But with you've really transformed people's lives with this.
Yeah, and, definitely the vision board is one component to it, and it goes so much deeper than that when we really understand the power of creating a vision and that clear picture of where we want to go with our life. And then when we work with that vision in a certain way, it really does create transformation. And so that's what I really help people do.
I love it. And it is. It's so much fun too, isn't it?
It is, of course. My favorite thing about the work I do is the emails and the texts and the phone calls. Stacey, you won't believe what just happened. And that's so rewarding. So rewarding.
Oh,
especially
I can see that.
Especially this past year when so many people are struggling.
I was going to ask you,
yeah.
How are you helping people through this? I've seen all the amazing things that you've done on your Facebook page, but, how have you been able to help people through, the 2020 going into 2021?
Yeah, it's been such a powerful year. What I really teach people is something called vision-based living versus condition-based living. So most of us have been raised and trained to look at our conditions and our circumstances to determine what we can or cannot do and how we're going to feel. And we're very condition-based. What I teach people is how to live more from that vision of what you think is possible. And I think 2020, what it's been, is very affirming about the power of vision-based living. And the successes that my clients have had in the midst of some pretty trying conditions and circumstances is such a testament to the work that we do together, that no matter what's
Mm-hmm.
going on around you, you have a choice to make. And that those choices you make are ultimately going to determine your outcome. And it's been a really powerful year about helping people really rise above the conditions, rise above the circumstances. I have, clients that have started businesses, that have had record years in their businesses, that have gotten married, that have bought a home, that have sold homes, that,
Mm-hmm.
And all of those things are wonderful. But the real gift in all of it is when you realize you are so much more than your conditions, and to really discover who you really are. Yeah.
That is absolutely inspiring. I just love everything that you have. You always have this smile. It sounds like you have a permanent smile on your face, and you're just so excited for everybody around you. And I love that, because then it gets that excitement and you just want to be around you. And I can see why your clients are like that. One of the things I wanted to ask you today, because I was really excited that you have on your website now, you have a mindset tools and all these videos that you are doing. When did you decide to do that? A little bit more about it.
Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel. You can access those on my website as well. And there's hundreds of videos now, and they're that 3 to 7 minute long, so really short, succinct messages about tools on how to adjust your mindset that are very, very easy, and they're very practical. And one of the pieces that, as we're doing vision-based living, I always say it's really simple, but it's not easy. And one of the things it requires us to do is to step outside of our comfort zone and embrace fear. So as you're asking, when did you start to do this? I had the idea a long, long, long time ago to do it, but I was scared, right? It's vulnerable and all of those things. And I'm sure lots of your listeners can relate to that. And one day I just said, you know what, I've got to do this, and I've got to do it imperfectly. And so I started, and it was probably over 3 years ago now. And if you go back to the early days on the videos, you'll notice a difference between then and now. And the reason I'm sharing that, Candace, is so many people want to wait till they've got it figured out, until it's perfect. Yes. And I know so many people who look at my YouTube and they go, I want to do that. And how many people have a book inside of them, have a business inside of them, but they're letting their conditions and their circumstances hold them back. And so my message here is just get started. And because I got started, there's, like I said, well over 100 videos there, years of material to really help people create a success mindset.
And I think that's so important. And I want to kind of alliterate what you had said, because that is the key. I've been doing this for going into my 11th year. And I think for the first few years, I was beyond nervous. And I thought, why am I even doing this? And it's just like, keep on going, And my motto is always just keep on swimming, just keep on swimming. And that is the key. You just have to keep doing it. You're not going to be perfect to begin with. And it takes time. And you really inspire people. And obviously with your videos, you're inspiring even more, because they can see, this is how I started, and this is where I am today.
Yeah. There's a great expression, do what you can with what you have from where you are. And the other one that I really love is, the start is what stops most people. But once we get started, we build this momentum and this energy. But it takes a lot. If you look at inertia, it takes a lot of effort and energy to just get started. But once you get moving, then that inertia, that helps get things rolling. So get started.
I love it. And I think that's the biggest reason why we each need a coach. A life coach, a business coach, somebody else besides our family that can really be there to listen to us and to support us and to encourage us. And that's what I love what you're doing.
Yeah, and sometimes to kick us in the butt, right?
Oh, we all need it.
Yeah, really tough. I love what you said. I always say never hire a coach that doesn't have a coach, because it's true. We get in our own way and we can't see our own blocks. And oftentimes we say, oh, well, I've got a supportive best friend or my husband or my parents, but your family and your friends, they're a different type of support. And when you have a coach, when you have a mentor, they're not caught up in their own fears and worries and perceptions of you. And so to have that third party perspective is a game changer. And that's when we really, with proper coaching, and I'm going to say right coaching, that's where we can really experience those quantum leaps, because they can help, like you said, to inspire, to motivate, to hold us accountable. It's a game changer for sure.
And I bet that's what a lot of us appreciated this year. If we had coaches during the 2020, I think that we all kind of felt that. It's like, oh, thank goodness that you were around, because if you weren't, then I probably wouldn't have continued to do what I needed to do. And that's what the coaches are for, is as you said, to sometimes just kick us in the butt when we really need it the most.
Yeah, well, there's definitely a global energy right now. And if we're just relying on what we're hearing from the news and reading on social media and, you know, the chit chat at the water cooler, if we're just relying on that, that's going to produce a certain mindset. And when we're in the middle of a pandemic and there's a lot of fear and worry, and if we're just looking to those conditions and those people around us, chances are that's what we're going to take on ourselves. And if that's the mindset that we take on, that's the mindset that's going to be responsible for those results. And so, again, to be able to rise above the conditions, to think differently, and that's what your coach is for, is to help you think differently. That's what produces the different results.
That's excellent. I love it. And you recently have been doing some really cool stuff. You've been involved in some virtual summits. You want to share that with us today?
Yeah, I've been doing lots of things on the go. One of the things that I would love to share with your listeners, because again, power of mindset. You know, it's been said that success is 95% mindset. So been supporting some different summits and in my own events, and one of the things that we have going on is a 28-day mindset challenge. And so it's 5 minutes a day. So the activities are going to take you 5 minutes or less, and it's just little tiny activities that help to shift that mindset, that energy, and powerful. Just like I said, really simple, really fun. And we've got a couple of hundred people that are involved in this challenge right now, and it's ongoing. Wow. So something, if you're feeling maybe a little sluggish, you're feeling burnt out, you're feeling tired of the pandemic, you're just feeling tired of your four walls, and you just know you need something to shake up that energy, I would highly encourage listeners to take a look at that. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. And what I'll do for our listeners is I'll post that on our social media. I have the link for that here, and I think it's a great idea. Why not? Have fun. It is a free 28-day mindset challenge, so why not sign up for it? So I love it.
Yeah. How have you been doing, Candace? What's some of the mindset things you've been implementing this past year that have been helpful for you?
You know, I've done a lot of changes, I think, for myself. You know, 2020 was actually a good year for me. A lot of positive changes happened in the fact that, you know, we did a lot of visualization, and I now have my daughter a part of the Divas That Care, which I'm just beyond excited about. You know, before it probably would have never been in her thought process to be a part of this. She's seen it, you know, she grew up with it. This was, my idea was for her, the Divas That Care. So, because I always wanted them to have the database of amazing women like yourself on our program so that they could listen to it as they got older and be inspired. So for her now to be a part of this and to be a huge part of it as an intern in the Divas That Care, and she designs and does a lot of our social media, it's so wonderful. Honestly, I threw it out there. I wanted her to be a part of things, but I didn't know how, and she actually is in a big way, and she's stepping up all the time and doing more and more things. And so for my mindset, I think that's where it was, is just incorporating my family into something that was always for them.
How wonderful. And you created that space for them. So what a gift.
It's a neat thing. Well, I was thinking of all the things that you're doing here, and I've always been inspired by all of that you do, Stacey. You know, I just see you out there as a big pillar and always supporting, and you're always wanting to help people out there, especially women out there. I always see that part of you, and people are like, "Oh, do you know Stacey? Stacey's doing this," and I'm like, "Oh yeah." I've had the opportunity to have Stacey on our program. You know, she's just an amazing woman. So there's a lot of people out there that are always commenting on what a difference that you're making in their lives, and not just through the coaching, but just everything in general that you support women in their venues. So thank you so much from all of us out there. That we really appreciate everything that you're doing.
Oh, that means a lot, Candace. And, you know, it's part of my vision. I believe in people. I believe that we are so much more than we know, and we've got so much potential, and I believe that we all deserve to be happy, and that happiness is a choice. And any time that I have that opportunity to really help somebody discover, you know, if it's through a video or a challenge or an interaction, that's always my goal, is just for people to walk away feeling a little bit more uplifted, a little bit more inspired. So thank you for that. That means a lot to me.
Well, you've definitely done that for me. And one of the things that I thought for my 2021 was to be not so serious, to take life as it comes, to relax more. And I think it's listening to amazing women like yourself that I put myself in that. I didn't realize that, you know what, I love everything I do, but sometimes I take on a lot. And for me, just to, you know what, take a deep breath and everything's going to work out. I really needed to do that. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and you bring up a really good point, and I'm laughing to myself as you say that, not to take life so seriously, because I tend to fall into that sometimes too, right? I get my head down and I'm working on stuff, and if I'm not careful, and I'm so grateful that I still have some little people in my life that definitely help with that. But it's a good reminder for me to stop and smell the roses, and you know, laughter, and find a reason to laugh and to smile, not to wait to do those things.
Yes, life is too short, and we need to really enjoy those moments. I love it. You know, Stacey, as I said, I always have such a great time when I'm chatting with you. I almost get off topic because I'm like, okay, what are we going to talk about next? Because there's just so much that you and I could probably chat about. One of the things I want to see is you've got some workshops that are going to be taking place here. Would you mind sharing that with our guests? Because I'm assuming that a lot of them, because it is an online event, that they would like to be able to attend from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, we have our next, I host a vision workshop a few times a year. Our next one is coming up on April 17th, and this day has the potential to transform your life. And I know that can feel a little cliche, and I even hesitate to say that, but it truly does. So it's a day, it's online, so we have people from all over the world join us. But it's really a day that's structured to help you get that clarity. Okay, what is my passion? What is my purpose? So if you're sitting here listening to Candace and I, and you're going, I want that. I want that level of joy and intention in my life. Know that it's within you. And so it's, how do you discover what that passion is, what that purpose is, what you want to do with your life? And then it's one thing to have the vision, but there are certain factors that get in our way that try to prevent us from moving forward. And my hands up here, it's called self-sabotage. And that self-sabotage can be really, really sneaky. And if we're not careful and we don't understand what it is, it can hold us back. And so we really look at what's standing in between you actually achieving this goal. And we identify what those blocks are, what those self-sabotaging behaviors are, and then how do I overcome them can live a life that I love. So it's a powerful day. We pack a lot into that day, but it truly does have the potential to create just a quantum leap inside your life. And so I would love to extend an invitation to that. It's extremely affordable. It's $49 for the day, and what you get in return is really priceless.
Oh, that's fantastic. What are the times of the event? And if a person is living in another country, is it recorded so they could listen to them at a better time?
This one is not recorded. It's a live event, so you're going to want to set that inner clock so that you can be on Mountain Time for those days. We have people that join us live from all over the world. It's 9 to 4 Mountain Time. And do you want me to share the link, Candace, or do you just want to post that on the page?
I'm going to post that on our social media.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just post that on our social media because I think it's a great thing. I have it in front of me right now, so thank you.
Yeah. Would love to have you there.
Oh, that's excellent. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Stacey, one of the things that I always ask our amazing guests at the end of the program is if they have any tips or tools or anything else last minute they'd like to share with us.
I would love to share one of my favorite quotes that I think is so important, specifically this year and what we've been navigating as a planet. And it's a quote from Napoleon Hill. And Napoleon Hill says that every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. And the reason I love that so much is that no doubt about it, we are facing some adversities. We're facing some challenges. We're facing some problems at this moment. And if you can just remind yourself that within that adversity, there is a seed of equal or greater benefit. There's so much good that can come from this adversity, but it requires each one of us to look for that good, to nurture that good, and to go after that good. And specifically at this moment in time, I think that's a really important message for all of us to hang on to as we're facing some global adversities right now.
Yes, we are. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that today.
Yeah. Thanks, Candace.
Well, I've had a great show, Stacey. I am so glad you came back. I'm excited to share all of your information with all of our listeners because I think it's really important for them to check you out and be inspired like I've been inspired the last few years that I've known you. You are an amazing woman, and I'm always very grateful when you do take the time to come on our program.
Well, thanks for the work that you're doing in the world and the impact that you're having. Your light shines very brightly.
Aw, thank you so much. And I want to do a big shout out to all of our amazing listeners. As I said earlier, it's because of all of you that we've continued to grow on a global scale. We're now listened to in over 30 countries around the world, and we're inspiring so many people. And thank you. I really want to say thank you to you because I'm so beyond grateful for all of this support that the Divas That Care has had. Again, if you want to check out our amazing hosts, check them out at divasthatcare.com. Until next time, everyone, I hope that you do something kind out there. Have a fantastic weekend, everyone.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.